Hello, and welcome to the Journeys of Folco Hornblower, the One Ring 2nd Edition Strider Mode adventure, written and narrated by me, Ryan Hewlett. Yule in the year 2965 to Third Age. Winter quickly set in shortly after Folco returned to Bree-Hill, and the long cold dark of winter finally set in. Folco welcomed the quiet time he now found himself in, and unlike times before, he remained around his home, spent time attending to chores around the home, and spending time sitting near the fireplace, reflecting on the past year and all that it brought. For the first time in Folco's life, he had something more to reflect on than all the years previous combined. As a snowstorm raged on the outside, and under the warm orange glow of the fire, Folco pondered all that he saw, did, and lost during the time outside the green hedge of Bree. The first walk west towards the Shire, and his unfortunate accident on the side of the road that led him to being found by Bilbo Baggins. His charge from Bilbo to deliver a letter to Bam Furlong, and the ask from Farmer Maggot to rid the marish of the beast plaguing his chickens. On meeting Barrelak after the harrowing encounter with the wolf-like creature with menacing red eyes at Buckleberry Ferry. Then he and Barrelak walking deep into the dark old forest, only to encounter two of the dreaded beasts, but, by chance, also one of the enigmatic being and his wife, Tom Bombadil and Lady Goldberry. Then sorrow crept across Falco's heart as he vividly remembered the passing of Barrelak, and although he only knew him for a short time, he considered him a close friend. Folco now thought the time spent now in the comforts of his own home, he'd remember his time with Barrelak in song. Now Folco wasn't much of a writer, and at the moment he was lost for the right words. He smiled as he thought Barrelak wasn't much for word and conversation himself, at least in the small amount of time Folco knew him. Folco continued to reflect and then on the events under the hills of Skerry, the finding of the nameless thing and the silver ring now on his finger, which came heavy across his mind and his heart. The warmth of the fire seemed to cool, the light from the flame duller and more dim. The shadows along the walls of the room seemed to grow and become increasingly more dark. The winds outside seemed to intensify. For the rest of the evening and into the rest of the time spent in Yule, the ever-present shadow that had enveloped him since he found it and put on the ring seemed to close tight on him more and more than before. Folco smiled, however, remembering that not all was dark during the time afterwards. The fortunate meeting of Tursdan after his near-fatal encounter with the Southerners on the North Greenway, and the time spent on the Great East Road heading east to Rivendell. Then he remembered, and shuddered at the thought again of the slain dwarves at the hands of the Stone Troll and the Trollshaws. Folco quickly moved his thoughts to the sights, sounds, and comfort that was Rivendell, and his short time spent in council with Elrond. The wine was a welcome gift from his parents, and if Folco ever got the chance again to meet with Elrond, or send word back, he would pass on the gratitude that his parents had shown. Folco then sat back into the chair he was sitting in, and looking into the flame, remembered now the encounter with Eriador, the other ranger of the north, and the felling of the troll who Folco had saw earlier in the Trollshaws. He wondered how Eriador fared in taking care of the dwarven bodies, and if he ever would meet the ranger again and ask. Folco hoped he would have the opportunity to meet Eriador once again. The evening drew late, and his eyes grew heavy. But now the memory of his grandfather, the stories he told of, and the time spent with him hunting in the Chetwood, eased Falco's very heart and soul. Smiling, he closed his eyes and fell fast asleep. When I became a late backer of the Kickstarter for the One Ring 2nd edition from Free League Publishing back in, it would have been, I guess, late 2021, I had no idea that a year later I'd be playing the tabletop role-playing game in the world of Middle-Earth, and let alone a solo playstyle at that. Further yet was the idea of starting a YouTube channel chronicling that play and that journey with the player hero character in the One Ring RPG. But here we are. As we see Folco reflecting on his year during Yule in Middle-Earth, I want to thank you for watching and following along as I explore more of Eriador and the world created by J.R.R. Tolkien through the play of the One Ring RPG. I hope the videos have inspired you to take a look at the One Ring RPG 2nd Edition and the Strider Solo Mode, and it has, at least for me, been an enjoyable experience, thoroughly enjoyable actually, and has helped spurred my interest to dive deeper into the works and the lore created by Tolkien for Middle-Earth. And, you know, incidentally, it's kept the role-playing game fires burning while my in real-life gaming group has kind of been in a hiatus perpetually for the past 8 or 9 months, hoping to regain that momentum back again for some group play in the future. So as Folco reflects on the year 2965 of the Third Age, and I reflect on the end of the year 2022 here, here's to the continuing journeys of Folco Hornblower well into the 2966 and beyond in Eriador. Thank you, and have a great and prosperous new year, and I hope you will come back and we'll see you and in the new year to come. Thank you. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also check out the companion to my YouTube channel on my Substack. The link to the Substack is in the description of the video. Again, thank you for watching and supporting the channel.